Scott Lanningham at the SmarterCommerce Global Summit in Madrid. I'm joined now by Chris Booker, who is New Business and Business Development Director with CSI Channel Insight. CSI stands for Computer Systems Integration. CSI is headquartered in the United Kingdom, and they deliver smarter multi-channel solutions across Europe. Chris, thanks for being here.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me. It's nice to be here.
Tell us about CSI. What's your experience, your expertise, your company's
Okay,
expertise?
so CSI has been around for a number of years. We started in 1983, but we've been operating in this multi-channel space for over 14 years now, working with IBM. We're a SmarterCommerce partner, and we've been delivering solutions across Europe in the last few years. We're an IBM Premier partner for other elements of our business as well, and we're about 150 people and growing as a business today.
So as we said to a few other partners we've spoken with, this is the theme of this conference resonates with you because you're working the space already. This is very important to you.
Very much so. It's business as usual for CSI, and it's a growth market for us. It's as it expands across the channels and customers are placed at the centre of the business and the way that we drive things forward in terms of looking for growth. It's a very good place to be.
Excellent. Yeah. Now let's talk about your customers. Where do they lay in the spectrum in terms of industries or geographically? Sure. I assume Europe is your primary focus.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So in terms of our customer base, we work in retail. So we provide solutions from a business to consumer perspective for the retailers. We also work in business to business with the IBM technology in terms of the main one is WebSphere Commerce that we implement. Okay. And that's also deployed for business to business customers, and that can be into manufacturing, distribution, telco, and a number of other sectors as well, where those deployments are helping them reach their customers and extend the hours of service that they can do business with those customers and provide self-service to the customers out of normal business hours.
So that's really what they're coming to you to help with. Solve problems around achieving those things.
It is, and I have to admit in the last 2 or 3 years we've seen this explosion in terms of a lot of organisations have been siloed in that they may be multi-channel, but the channels have grown up over a period of decades. What we're looking at here is actually flattening that silo mentality, so that the customer, irrespective of the touch point that they access at any point in time, has a consistent experience with the business. So we've seen an explosion obviously in the last few years with mobile, but also the connectivity that's required into branch or into store, so that the customer has the same experience in the store as well.
To flatten that and de-silo to an extent, like you're saying, what are the things you have to address? I'm assuming they grow up with different processes. Yes. They may grow up with different strategies, even different cultures sometimes within a company.
Very much so.
All that stuff you have to address?
Yeah, very much so. And there's an element of technology required, but actually it's about the business and about the business process and how we harmonise that and take them on a journey where they can achieve that goal of a consistent customer experience. So as IBM talks about its SmarterCommerce journey of putting the customer at the centre, that's what we're aiming for.
Can you share an example of a company that you've worked with and how this stuff has transformed what they're doing?
Yeah, okay, so we've worked with a number of retailers where effectively they wanted a web channel initially, but they also wanted to take these services into store. And in the US you have this concept of extended aisle, and maybe an item is out of stock in the store, but they want to be able to get that item for you and have it delivered to home. Or there may just be an extended range that the retailer carries from a home delivery perspective. So some of the systems that we've put in place have been to integrate into the EPOS system, so that the actual inventory checks can be made and the order placed at the same time that they present their basket of goods to the retailer for checking out within the physical store.
Okay. What are the biggest trends that are impacting this space from your standpoint? I mean, mobile is huge, right? And it's becoming, it's everywhere.
It is.
So that means the customer's everywhere, and the intersect points with the data and the company and the whole customer relationship experience is everywhere.
Yes.
Right? Is that the biggest one, or are there other things that immediately come to mind?
It's certainly one of them. There is an element out there where people are still in a research and development mode with mobile, and they're building again a silo in some cases in terms of a separate mobile-based solution, opposed to, if you like, following the IBM strategy of a single platform that can deliver this to multiple channels. So we're still seeing some harmonisation, for want of a better expression, around that. But the companies that have really thought this through, they're getting a single platform and they're going out to these multiple channels, and therefore mobile is just another channel that they deal with. But we're also seeing an explosion in terms of what people want to do in store. A number of retailers are implementing Wi-Fi within store and also putting kiosks in store so that customers can go up to those devices and find other items that may or may not be in the store at that particular time.
Do you find with your customers and all the conversations you have, and I'm sure being new business development director, you're having those conversations
Yes.
constantly, that this evolution of technology and methodology around commerce, making it smarter, is helping people be enthusiastic in times and optimistic in times that are challenging globally, you know, financially?
Without doubt. This is a very exciting place for people to be, and as we've seen with the economy, some of the other channels have not quite been performing as one would expect, but organisations are looking for the web, the mobile channel, to take up some of that decrease effectively,
Right.
And help drive the business forward. But equally, we're seeing shoppers' habits changing in terms of where, when and how they interact. So we can't just treat the store as a showroom. It has a value, and we have to think about how we drive the footfall into the store. So this connected world and having the store as a value point within it is absolutely essential as well moving forward.
When you kind of a closing thought, you think about, again, a new business, what are you anticipating? What do you think are going to be some of the big influencers or trends in the immediate future that are going to be big impact points for you and your customers?
Okay, well, I still think we've got some way to go on the mobile front. I don't think there's any question. Social has also been around for many years now.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's going to continue to expand in its impact. Right?
It is, absolutely. And organisations are still grappling with how they monetise, from a business perspective, the social element. And that's a very delicate balance between having fans, that people like the brand, and then overtly selling to those people. And that sometimes can be an area where organisations have to think very carefully about how they may do that. So I think there's continued growth in those particular areas. I think we will see organisations focus on customer service and customer retention more, and making sure that, again, irrespective of touch point, the levels of service that customers can expect are consistent. The other area that we're seeing high growth is around product management and how organisations bring products to market and how they enrich the information so that the customer at the glass or on the mobile device can make a decision about purchasing that item. So that's one area that I do think we're still going to see a lot of growth over the next couple of years.
All right. As a close, value of coming to a conference like this. I mean, this is a fairly unique conference in the universe of IBM conferences.
Yeah, this is a great conference. It's great to see the conference in Europe, and I think there's some high value for organisations that have visited in terms of learning from other businesses who may be adjacent or in their same sector. And there's learnings that they can take back and start to consider implementing for themselves. But also it gives them a view of IBM and where IBM's going in the future, and how IBM has starting to leverage the investments that they've made in these new acquisitions over the last 2 years. So very good conference, and thoroughly enjoyed it.
And the business partners such as yourself are a very big part of making it successful, so thanks for being here.
All right, thank you very much.
Chris, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Chris Booker again is New Business and Business Development Director with CSI Channel Insight, an IBM business partner in the United Kingdom. I'm Scott Lanningham at the SmarterCommerce Global Summit in Madrid.